We are, but we'll come back to that afterwards.
So where are you going with that?
First order of business, the minutes from the August 10th, 2023 meeting. Comments, questions?
Beth is listed as a school committee member on them,
That's
which she is no longer.
I'm a community member now.
Community member.
And I don't know, do we have to let MSBA know that?
We did.
That was that change you had? Okay, cool.
I think the last 2 minutes it did say that.
Community member.
Yeah.
We can make a motion with that amended.
Yeah, I'll move to accept the 8/10/23 minutes, amending Beth Marzine Boucher as a community member.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Big motion.
Chief? No?
That's,
I like it. Yeah. I think a roll call vote would be appropriate. Seeing no
Okay.
discussion on the floor.
all right, no discussion. So now we'll go into roll call vote. Mr. Fenny?
Yes, please.
Mr. Page?
Yes.
Okay.
I am a yes. Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Abstain.
Abstain. Ms. Collins?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Blair?
I was absent, so I'll abstain.
Abstain. Okay. Somebody is absent. Mr. Crucial? Yes. Christensen?
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay, Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
And Ms. Marzine Boucher?
Yes.
Okay. We have a few abstentions.
Yeses
Any
appear to have it.
no's? The yeses have it. That is approved.
Mr. Mackey, do we have any members of the public joining us remotely?
We do not.
Do not. Seeing the lovely Miss Richards, is there anything you'd like to raise to the committee's attention?
At the moment, but I can't make any promises.
Duly noted.
Thank you.
Mr. Murphy.
So I'm actually taking the meeting minutes today. It's gonna be Mr. Benzinger.
Yeah, so
Stand
you
correct.
have a slide for us?
We don't really. We baked it all into the design updates.
Okay, so
Christian, either we can talk over process schedule update, or you guys can handle it kind of in your.
I'll just go over the milestones. From so tomorrow is we're going to make the schematic design submission, the formal one, to the MSBA. We've given them pieces already at their request because they have a full agenda for October. So they were appreciative of that. And thank you to the design team for doing that. And then 8/24, which is today, you guys are going to approve the submission, SD submission, approve us making it to the MSBA. 9/12 town council meeting with Kim on the bond process. 9/19 town council ballot language.
Change on that.
Okay.
So 9/15, so 2 meetings, I believe, in the same week. So the 12th, we'll be able to hopefully review
The bond.
vote language and ballot question, and also hear from bond counsel.
Mhm.
And then Jeannie Quagliati, the town clerk, had updated me today. It said the 15th, I believe it's 6:30. They'll actually then hopefully vote on the whole thing.
Both also 6:30?
No.
12 to 6.
You mean on a Friday?
Yeah.
Friday.
25th.
Not my choice. Did I say that?
12th is at 6. The 15th is at 6:30.
And then on October 25th is the MSBA board meeting where this would get approved by the MSBA. And then November 7th is the big date. Vote, local vote. To get approved. I believe there's also a series of outreach meetings that are going to happen.
5 open houses, 2 community community forums.
I don't have those dates on my fingertips, but
Is anyone going to the 10th later on? 5 MSBA, is that Did you say we should go to that?
Are they still virtual?
I believe that one's going to be virtual, yes.
Yeah, I would say the chair of the building committee should go and the superintendent should go. And
Okay.
obviously, I wouldn't, I guess you all could attend. But
We don't have to. I just,
No.
we had talked about it. Yeah.
I think the chair and the superintendent should attend.
What was that date on that again? Because I wasn't paying.
25th,
25.
Thank you.
I think they're still virtual right now.
When they're live, they do like the whole fanfare. They like to see everybody there.
Kissing the ring.
Yeah, I'd love
Say that. Sorry. Scratch that, Ben.
What, 9 projects or something
Yeah.
on the agenda, so they don't need to see everybody.
Yeah.
No, it went virtual, but I mean, having sat in their gallery, I mean, people bring marching bands and
Thank you.
they bring
Fancy chocolate.
every representative, state senator.
This will be vetted quite a bit by them between now and 10:25. 10:25 is really a formality and just a board vote.
Have you received comments back on any of the earlier submission materials?
We did have we had a conversation with them regarding the green incentive points policy. They wanted to be sure we understood the new policy and wanted to talk that through. So that was
Had some comments on our space summary. There's some comments on the 3011. I mean, it's actually been helpful.
very positive relationship so far, and communication's been really good.
Email that, bless you, that Nina sent yesterday, Nina Topakasas, updating our
Reimbursement rate,
reimbursement. Yes.
there's just a function of how we showed it on the vote language.
Because, I think that the base rate was shown on the vote language.
Is 56.48.
And so they had made a comment on that if the additional incentive points are known at this time, to include those in the overall rate. So that was the additional, I want to say it was 5 point, whatever that was. 0.4 something. Yeah, I think that sounds right.
So it took us over 60.
Yes, 60 point. Yeah, I don't want to misquote what the actual number was, but yeah, with the Green Schools program incentive and the maintenance incentive, you're up over 60.
Does everybody understand that?
Were those the numbers we reflected at our school committee meeting in terms of the reimbursement number and the tax liability, right? You had changed, remember I had asked you about
We had changed the, yes, in terms of what the town's share would be, yes. But in the vote language, we didn't reflect that because we had originally been shown or told that our rate was 56.48%. So that was what went to town's attorney, went to MSBA, and has since come back with preliminary approval from MSBA and has now gone to bond council. But it sounds like we can change it.
Yeah.
And that was as of yesterday afternoon.
So we're 61.95.
Wow.
And so that is theoretically the percentage that you would get reimbursed for the total cost of project. However,
Of eligible.
they have a series of caps within, so they cap like the construction cost per square foot at $393. And they cap how much your site can cost. There's an extraordinary number of caps. So your actual reimbursement rate is significantly less than that. And you guys also have some ineligible space here, the district office and things like that. So
Has that new number made its way through your 3011 yet?
Yeah, so our projected effective rate of that is 35.5%. So call it 36%. So you'll be seeing that in Christian's update later on, but
that's still higher than it was before, right?
right, we had it around 30%. So
Right.
through this
Great.
schematic process, we're doing better than we were at PSR.
And why is that again, Ben? You said green energy.
Green energy.
That's all?
Excuse me?
That's the only difference? They bumped us 5 points?
No, I'd say that just through the process, so I think where the numbers came in through the schematic estimate, we're a little bit lower on that.
But that doesn't change the reimbursement. That changes the reimbursement rate?
the reimbursement rate is solely to do with the new incentives that they've provided for green. Yeah.
I think that, and then
The less square footage that's ineligible.
square footage for the
Oh, we found more square footage that's eligible, which changed. Okay. And then the green. Okay, thank you.
incentives. Yeah.
And Gordon, we did ask about when we met with MSBA about reimbursement rate. You
Yep.
thought that was going higher, and
I didn't think it was going higher. I just thought they reevaluated.
Yeah, they weren't aware of that. They do it once a year, but we're gonna be locked in once the project funding agreement's executed here. So the only other thing
And 6.9 is better than
Yeah.
getting in at 56.4.
the only other thing I'll report before we hand it over to the design team is so the OIG Inspector General called or asked for a meeting with Ben and I about the CM at risk applications we had sent in. There was just some confusion about the pool and the two projects, so we were able to tell them, what the deal was, and they seemed satisfied with all that. And they intimated that they were going to approve them and send them back. We haven't seen them yet, but I suspect that'll be any day.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
John, you said it was going to lock in later, so that could change the 64?
No, I don't think it's going to change. Yeah.
Okay. It never would go down.
No, that's your rate for the project at that point.
You good, John? Design team? Ms. Brooks. What's it?
Great. So this, as John mentioned, the MSBA did request that we submit our binder in 2 separate submissions. So we sent them everything that's highlighted here in green on August 15th. A lot of it was quite easy to submit, traffic reports that we had done previously, geotechnical reports we had done previously. We got our cost estimates back just in time that we were able to submit them then. Although there have even been some changes since then. So now we're in the process of, we have the final submission tomorrow. So we're going to let them know exactly, here's what we submitted before, we're going to submit the whole package this time. Here's what's changed from what we've submitted last time. As Dorian mentioned, we've had a fruitful conversation about the green incentive points in our sustainability narrative. Space summary, they had some questions on where a specific health room should go within that matrix. And then they did have some questions on the project budget agreement. So I think it's been helpful for them they did dive right in and were able to give us some feedback already. So happy to go through this is our draft binder that we're started printing in the office, getting ready for tomorrow. The district and the town will each get a copy of this once it's all completed tomorrow. But we thought tonight we should probably focus on the numbers and in particular how those have changed since we met last time on August 10th, which was kind of that preliminary approval that went to the MSBA then. So Gordon, I think if you go to the next slide. So this is what we've been presenting publicly, and I just wanted to put this slide back in there so that we just kind of remind ourselves, this is where we were at the end of preferred schematic report. That was very early on in the process. That's when we didn't have any drawings at all. It was really just looking at square footage costs and what construction costs were doing across the state. And so we had an approximate project cost of about 177 million. And an approximate town cost of between 120 and 122 million. Next slide, Gordon. So we went through a value engineering process with your help from our last meeting. And so we just wanted to give you the updated numbers. Again, we had 2 independent cost estimates done by 2 very similarly named cost estimators. So PM&C was the cost estimator for the design team. And their new estimate came down to 147.2 million after the value engineering and kind of review of scope that we did. PCM, the OPM's cost estimator, came down to basically 147.8 million. And so when we reconcile those, we get an average of about 147.5 in construction costs after that value engineering effort.
Was that our number?
Yes. Yes. And we were going for an approximate number, but we were making very specific recommendations on what to cut and what to keep. And so we knew that it would be about 147.567, somewhere in there. But this is once they finally made those exact changes.
Great.
So we've shown this as kind of broad numbers before, but now I figured we're at the point where we can get very specific. So this is straight from the 3011 that Skanska has developed, and we've given a little bit of input, but it's a very complicated spreadsheet, and this might change a little bit with MSBA review. Again, this takes everything into account, like the exact number of square feet that they're willing to reimburse or not. So, for instance, on those health classrooms, they asked us to put those from the core academic space down to the other space. And Jory did a very good job of immediately asking, wait a minute, does that mean that these are suddenly non-reimbursable? And I said, no, they're still reimbursable, but we just want them categorized down there so we can track them a little.
We get more core space then? Is that where we picked it up? No.
No, I mean, that was a variety of changes that have happened since the PSR on why those square footages have changed.
But by taking the health rooms out, we can't put more square footage.
No, because we're already over in core from the MSBA guidelines generally. We're over and approved, but over. So it's not like you win more square footage or anything. It's just a recategorization. I don't know why. They have a new spreadsheet, and they for some reason are trying to keep things super consistent for their own processes, I think. I think there were we lowered our unreimbursed square footage by recategorizing things that are unoccupied spaces as part of the grossing. Again, it's not changing the size of the building, but we pulled it out wherever we could to kind of attach it. And the MSBA is fine with that. So they generally approve that. They could say, oh, that's clearly, specific to a program, but I don't think they will, because we still had room, and we were trying to meet the grossing guideline as well.
Amazing.
So it was just small tweaks here and there that just allowed us to shave off any category we could, and still not change the project at all.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
But that 114 is new right here.
Yes. So
120.
It was, we were 115 at the end of value engineering.
Oh, yeah.
That's even lower in terms of the town share. So we've gone down from preferred schematic report at 120, which has been presented to the community, down to 115 at our last building committee meeting, to possibly 114 being the share now.
So a couple more meetings, maybe they'll go down more.
We're willing to meet the rest of the way.
I mean, John, we all
$1 a clip, we'll do it, right?
That's right.
feel good about that budget, right? We feel like we're, everything's there on the soft cost that's needed, and So the only possibility is in that scope and budget agreement, the MSBA disagrees and says this 60 square feet needs to go back up there or that. So it could tweak a little, but you saw the other number. We wouldn't be any, be between the two.
I mean, we would have expected they'd identify anything like that by now, right?
No.
No?
I mean,
They always find something. It's
The
part of the game, yeah.
special education spaces that we
Right.
just wrote about, is that where they're going to start to attack?
they did ask us, for instance, one change between PSR and SD was that we
An
moved.
aggressive word.
We
Is that
moved.
where they might question?
That might. We've
No.
typically never had a problem with, because that's actually DESE who reviews that, and they're reviewing against the schools.
Bessie's going to like that.
Right, and I think they will as well. We did move one classroom from core academic into special ed that I did not understand early on was a special ed program, the SEL classroom.
Oh, okay.
And that they noticed right away and said, what happened, to a classroom? And it allowed us to be sure the other classrooms were a little bit larger, because we did keep that there. And then we just shifted.
But
that
MSBA questioned that, not DESE.
Right, and
Because that's going to be
reviewed
right
that
in
very
DESE's guidelines. That the SEL classroom is
Right.
right in their goals.
MSBA will defer to DESE's
To DESE on that.
review of
Yeah.
the special ed spaces, and I've never come across a situation where they.
Me neither. And it's good that you say that, because that was, I think, their confusion too, is the SEL was a little bit of a new rubric.
Mhm.
So they were questioning that just specifically, just wanting to be sure that it was the DESE program.
DESE endorsed.
DESE.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You heard every night.
The best. Right, Frank? The best program. Okay, nice.
any questions on the numbers? Just wanted to reiterate, we are declaring these 6 items as official add alternates in the 3011 in the project budget spreadsheet. So these are some of what we saw at the last meeting. We revised the list a little bit. I think we had values in there of having the generator be be natural gas instead of diesel. But just to simplify it, we took that one out of here. But we do want to just keep these items set aside in a way so that we can continue to price them as the project goes forward.
If there was the ability to, at some point, to pull these in, do you have to pull them now in order?
Yes. When you bid it.
Once you get into DD, these can be restructured, the order of them. However, once you do set that in DD, yes, you are right. You have to accept them in order of how they're.
Being right now, I've not voted on the order.
This is kind of an informal, this is what we're looking at. We're carrying it into the next phase. And then we will reorganize based on feedback.
The lighting, that's varsity baseball and softball, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So all the fields out there? So will we be able to add the softball piece to it so that?
In the language.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that that looks like we're slanting one way.
I thought there were 500,000 a set of lights anyway. So is that 2 sets?
Yeah, it's 2 sets. I think that was just probably transcription. We can.
Yeah, I think in the documents going to MSBA, we've identified.
Make sure we say softball and
baseball. We'll double check that, but I'm almost certain that it does.
Okay.
And we'll have a chance to reorder these if wanted, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And change them entirely.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, you could add
All different ones?
Before you go to bed.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes important.
Okay. Beautiful. Great. A lot of money.
So not just to focus on numbers the whole time, we thought we would also, SMA in particular, the new rendering. So this can be used at our community meetings and outreach. MSBA likes to see some of these images as well. I think we're continuing to revamp the exterior ones in particular to process, but it's new and improved since last we've seen.
Is that showing brick on the upper level? Not necessarily.
Not yet.
No.
We remember.
Not yet.
No.
You see on the upper right image, the the tall wall in the back with the very tall windows here is now brick, whereas it wasn't. So
I like the colors.
Starting to think about these items already.
I like the fact that we have people bicycling. See, green energy.
And next, again, some very early, these also need some updating, but just some early renderings on the top left is as you come into the school, looking at the educational stair and lots of daylight coming into the area. We did save some wood to try and warm up the space during the VE process. So
yeah, totally good call.
That really, really helps enliven the space. And then on the bottom right is a kind of a science tech classroom. Again, some more development to be done, but gives you an idea of flexible furniture, flexible outlets, and just a very open space that can be used in a variety of ways.
Have we done an inventory of the current furniture in case anything's worth transitioning, and how do we decide that?
Not yet.
But we will. Is that worthwhile?
Yeah.
We've done that many times.
Not yet. It's not worthwhile, or we haven't done it yet.
We haven't.
There's some worth saving. Yeah, it'd probably be about 90-10 split of not versus.
But worth looking at, probably.
Yeah, worth going through.
So I will say we did start some of that process this summer of weeding stuff out, just knowing like we have 3 years to start this.
Right.
Yeah, so we started going through book rooms and our chem labs and science labs and working with the fire department to start cleaning out some of these spaces because we don't want to be doing it all last minute.
Yeah, and that's been a comment I brought up in some meetings a lot is start the process on storage of files now because it's amazing what gets accumulated.
It's been on my radar, and the amount of materials we've already disposed of in the last 2 months has already been absurd, and like that's not even a dent, So
we work with an organization. What's their IRN, who takes furniture from schools and sends it to third world nations. It's
We'd love to.
they charge, but it's more for the process of fees and stuff. But then they give you a report and tell you where it's been shipped, and it's a good thing. So
Okay.
and then a couple projects.
Throughout 2 dumpsters worth of books.
Oh, sorry, we're not there yet.
No, that's it.
Okay.
That's
Oh, in the slide.
Any questions on any of the foregoing from the design team update?
So these numbers are locked in. That's it. We're locked. Is this going to lock it?
well. Again, the one that occurred to me when we were talking about it. So the MSBA is going to review this in a great depth, right? And again, it's these like nitpicky details. And like in the past, I remember they will not reimburse for remediating asbestos-containing floor tiles, right? And so we went through the asbestos report. We tried to pull all the things that had anything to do with floor tiles and put them in the non-reimbursable category. They might go through that in more detail and disagree with our numbers, here or there. So that, again, there might be some minor changes between here and when the board votes on it.
For the 63, you're talking about the reimbursement, but the 177 we are locking in now. Is that correct? The 460? Yeah. Okay.
We locked in at 177.5 last week.
Yeah, last week.
Does this change? I mean, it's a couple dollars, but
There's approved
just want to know what the
submission
budget.
of it. So yes, it's,
What someone asked you, what's the budget? This is the budget now. 177, 460. No more.
645.
645. Cool. Couple of your plans.
22 cents.
All right, so that gets put into now the language which had gotten approved. Okay. It's okay. It's not.
And Kim can start working.
Right. With that,
Off of that. Well, and yeah,
Bond counsel.
Right.
Yeah, let's start the process.
Okay. Everybody good to go to the motion?
Anyone else? Is there a motion on the floor to approve the schematic design package and authorize Skanska USA Building as the owner's project manager to submit to the Massachusetts School Building Authority on behalf of the district? So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Danny was second.
nope.
Appeal.
So Ryan, how does this work?
Oh, the second.
oh yeah.
Okay.
They stepped right into the breach. It was fine. Any further discussion on said?
Okay.
Seeing none.
We'll do a roll call. Mr. Fenny.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
Mr. Page.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Ms. Brown.
Yes.
Ms. Hill.
Yes.
Ms. Collins.
Yes.
Ms. Blair.
Yes.
He's not here. Mr. Crucial. Christensen.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
And Ms. Margin Boucher.
Yes.
Says unanimously. We have schematic design.
Yes. Package. Any new business for the committee?
We're just wondering what the schedules for upcoming.
Can you go 3 slides forward?
3 slides. Just a quick review there. Everybody see that?
Yeah, and those
One
dates
change,
are
15th. 15th, not the 19th. Okay. Nice. Gonna be on the ballot question.
That'll sell it.
There you go.
Performance open houses that we schedule another school building committee meeting. Do we need to?
Schedule more than that?
No, this meeting, we need to, yeah, SBC meeting. I imagine we're getting comments back from the MSBA.
Yep.
I want to go through those, so.
At what moment would you recommend forming the review committee for CM selection?
Well, we got to send the RFP. Yeah, probably do that the next meeting.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so we have to have a review committee for the CM selection. I would recommend that there's a representative from the design team, representative from Skanska, and then 2 or 3 of you. You make it as big as you want, but it's unwieldy, and there's, a lot of documentation to read through.
Select those individuals at our next meeting. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, we could do it now if you wanted to, or, maybe just put the bug in year now, and then next meeting we can, form that subcommittee.
Next meeting is mid to late September.
Yeah, that's what,
Sound right?
Who's coming?
Do we want to have it before the community forum on the 21st?
Right.
Yes.
Helpful, right?
4 o'clock on the 24th or something.
Oh, like right before.
No. No. Forums on the 24th.
Do the form.
14th.
Yeah, 14.
14th.
We have a town department head meeting on that day.
He'll be quick.
And also cancel.
In the 14th.
7th, we have a pool meeting.
We do? September?
Well, we're hoping I can send
We can reset
to Cora.
schedule to do it.
Rochambeau.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there's a few cancellations already anyway, so
Oh, okay.
it's fine.
I was being very respectful of your department meeting.
14th, keep.
All right, 14th at what time?
I like the 3 o'clock meeting.
3 o'clock is good. It's good for the school people.
3 o'clock work, people? Okay. Actually, that'll be good because we have to get out for Mountain View's open house. So 3 o'clock's good.
What time's that open house?
6 o'clock.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, 3 p.m. on
Oh, yeah. You got
9/14. Does that work, Mr. Fenny?
He'll be ready on 5.
Ms. Collins, will that work for you?
Yes.
Okay, so 3 p.m., 9/14, if that works for everybody,
Do
though.
we want to pick a day in October now just to get it out of the way, or?
John, just going crazy. October meeting, is that what you're looking for? Similar, you want to just go before the, we have a forum on the 19th, right?
Yeah, I know, but if we get better 3 or 4, then
Date for the forum.
I don't know, it seems like a lot.
Okay, I'm gone the 12th, but
Oh, you're going.
well, you guys can carry it. We're learning.
It was our family on the 12th, so.
Let's table it for now and revisit it.
I mean, we can, if we think that we're not changing the forum, we usually talk about what's going on in the
Right.
forum.
I would think exactly that by
week
the
before.
September meeting, you'll have a pretty good sense of what
So we-
content
okay.
should be.
All right, so I mean, then if that's the case, then maybe we can go on the 19th. I just didn't want to have like 7 changes and scrambling around before the forum, right? Frank's has those big tours going out at 5.
Details could be worked through an SLT at that level.
No.
Oh, we're switching, you're going to present?
Yeah.
And may never get back if I do the tour.
Oh, that's a good question.
What's that?
I was wondering if the SLTs might want to slow down. There's, at the.
Sure.
We do the tours at 5:30. I feel like we did that last time. We shortened it a little bit. Like I don't need an hour for them.
Yeah, we just have to, whenever we advertise it more than we're advertising right now, we just have to make sure we let people know so they start arriving.
People late last time then.
They got lost.
3-hour tour.
3 I think last time we did 5.
Dating ourselves.
Oh, maybe.
I didn't have an hour for
Okay. Yeah, we can do them in a half hour, 5:30.
them. That'll work.
Okay. 5:30 tours. So we'll lock in right now on the 14th of September and
tentatively
on the 19th at 3. That works. Hopefully we won't have a lot to say on the 19th and then people have a free reprieve before we have the forum. Right. Does that work for everybody?
What time on the 19th? I'm sorry.
4? We were thinking of 3.
3. Okay.
So do we, for these upcoming open houses and forums, do we have a program presentation?
Open houses is basically similar to what you're seeing at National Night Out. Just whatever, you're not going to have a ton of space at the elementary schools, Maple Shade and Mountain View in particular. Meadowbrook, we might, if we go towards the book fair and are in the gym. But you want to be in the main area of Maple Shade and Mountain View so you get the most traffic. So you're only going to have room for about a table.
And we decided that we're not going to talk about taxpayer burdens or anything like that at these.
I think we're probably going to go with renderings that we have and
We'll be updating those.
updating them and whatever questions. Thompson we went from bell to bell on National Night Out answering questions on whatever
Team effort.
we'll try to answer.
Team effort, Gord.
Okay.
I think Victoria's updating the
flyer.
flyer as well, the content, and the FAQs are constantly kind of updated, so we have that available.
Yeah, and I think at the forums, we definitely would get into all of that. I think it's harder to do at the open houses.
And you're suggesting we go through that during the SLT meeting?
Yeah, that would be great. That's just our next SLT. We should do that. And what we'll probably do is pull up the PowerPoint that we presented to council, replace some content of that. That was pretty much designed to be an overview of the things we're talking about.
Right.
And then we'll have the 14th as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this group will be together before that. First
Who wanted to decide?
Very cool.
We
We
want
wanted to decide on the open house.
we want that as one of our displays at the open house.
September 6th. First Thanksgiving.
And then all the pictures.
Any or none, whatever,
Most open houses start at 6.
Yeah.
Is that the question you asked?
No, should we designate who's going to go to what, just so we can lock that in?
And sure.
Are you going to all of them? You won't be at the tables though. You shouldn't have.
I'm going to float.
Yeah, you should.
As much as I can, but
I can do.
I'll try to be at the table.
I can do the 14th, 27th, and 5th.
Okay.
Mountain View High School and the second day in Meadowbrook.
Okay, so I can do, you want me to do the 6th, the 3rd? What other dates are that? Wait a minute.
No.
The 6th,
6th is Maple Shade.
13th, and the 5th?
I can do the 5th.
Oh, the
I can't
4th.
do the 4th. Soccer. I saw my daughter's games. Yeah.
Absolutely. Any other folks?
We can do September 27th. Anyone left?
Okay.
No, I said who, I'll be there.
I know you're going to be floating too.
Yeah, I'll be there as well, but.
Only be so big a table, so.
Yeah, school will have someone there at each one of these.
Okay.
And Victoria will figure it out.
We will too.
And I'll be at Mountain View and Birchland, so if you guys need a break, we can switch off.
And Birchland, you're going to have much more space, so we could actually have,
Yeah, I'll go do everything and then.
foyer there, you could set up 2 tables.
Mhm. I don't want to know anyway.
Nice. Great.
Right. The new business?
Have to take a motion for recess so that we can finish the minutes, and then come back to review those.
Then there's on the floor for a recess.
So moved.
Recess.
Seeing one, a second,
Second.
And they're all at 6.
a discussion.
Was it Tom?
That's what it was.
Yes, it was Tom.
No. No, excuse me, it's Frank.
Out of there.
Oh, Frank. Sorry. Sorry, Frank.
Right.
That's the second. Okay. Any
No discussion.
No discussion. Okay, so recess. Mr. Fenny.
Can I just ask a question, Gordon?
Sure.
Oh, please.
Yes.
Adjourn? Do we need to adjourn and then reopen?
We posted it as a recess.
But, okay.
All right, so this is for a recess. Yes.
And it's for not a full meeting.
Yes. Ms. LeVar?
Yes.
I just don't want to.
Mr. Page?
Yes.
I'm a yes. Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Ms. Collins,
Yes.
Ms. Blair,
Yes.
absent. Mr. Christensen,
Yes.
Mr. Crucial,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
and Ms. Margie Belcher.
Yes.
Okay, so we are in recess.
Is there a motion on the floor to approve the 8/24/23 minutes? So moved. Mr. Page, is there a second?
That was Tom, okay. Do you want to move that, we're approving the minutes up to the recess that we had taken?
Okay, I move that we approve the minutes up to the recess. Is there a second? Yes.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Seeing none?
We don't have anybody online anymore?
No. Should. Well,
I just didn't say the date. I don't know if you should say the date in the motion. I'm not being picky.
No. So I'll revise my motion one more time. That we approve the minutes of 8/24/23 up until the recess.
Second.
Greg's taking the second now? Okay.
Discussion.
You have to do roll call.
Roll call. I think we can go.
No, we can just-
roll call.
Oh, we can just go, yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions?
Unanimous.
Unanimous.
I think that we need to.
Is there a motion to adjourn? Adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that. Second. Discussion? None? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.